Hey guys, bringing you another Total War Warhammer online ranked battle. But first I'm going to show you the army build in the custom battle screen just so that I can explain to you what's going on. So I played a lot of Dark Elves, they're really good, really fun faction, but obviously Skaven are an amazing faction and I wanted to get good at them in multiplayer. And it didn't take me long to come up with this build, and I've had 100% success with this build. I even won a ranked battle with I think over 1,000 gold spare because I was AFK and I didn't select all the units in time, and I still won against the Dark Elves. So a lot of people think that Skaven's strength comes from their artillery and their missile infantry. And I'm sure to some extent they're right, you know. This is the plague called Catapult. It's, lowers leadership. It's got armor piercing, anti-infantry. You can also bring a Warp Lightning, which is anti-large armor piercing. And you've got the choice here of the Poison Wing Globadiers, anti-infantry and armor piercing. That's the Death Globe. And the Poison Wind are anti-large armor piercing. A lot of people that I've seen on YouTube build armies, and this is the core here. And they're very good, but they're very vulnerable. I actually think that the best way to win a Skaven, and the way that I've had an insane amount of strength, is the infantry. A lot of people are deterred by the Skaven infantry because, they think they're weak. They think they're too squishy. But this build has given me 100% success, and I'll show you what it is right now. So, first off, we're going to take Queek Headtaker, because he's a good duelist. He's armor piercing, so he can stand up in a fight, and he's going to be great. So we'll give him this item, Warp Shard Armor, which will lower enemy armor around him in an aura. This is good to bring against High Elves and Dark Elves, and probably to some extent Lizardmen, because they're very highly armored factions, and Skaven don't have that much armor piercing. You can also bring the Dwarf Gouger if you think he's going to be fighting against a very heavily armored lord. So we'll keep that out of the equation for now, and we'll continue building the army. The next piece we're going to go for is a Plague Priest. I'm going to put him on a Plague Furnace, just give him more mass, probably more HP, I think. Yeah, loads more HP. So he's really good on this. The spells we're going to select, or deselect more importantly, we're going to get rid of Pestilent Breath, because we don't need it. It doesn't do enough damage, and it uses valuable winds of magic. We're going to get rid of Wither, because we need the winds, and Queek also has that armor debuff. We're going to keep Vermintide. You can keep Plague if you want. I do sometimes and I don't other times. I generally run out of magic, so I don't get to use it anyway. So I'm going to get rid of it. What we're left here with is Bless with Filth, which is a poison augment for your troops in an area of effect. Vermintide, which spawns a unit of clan rats, and Pestilent Birth. Now we're going to build the core of our army. So let's say we're fighting against High Elves, and they're going to bring a lot of ranged units probably. So what we're going to do is we're going to go with 3 Clan Rat Shield, just because they can soak up the arrows, and 3 Skaven Slaves. Now this is the infantry core that I go with every single time with this build. Say we're playing against someone else, Dark Elves or Lizardmen, I'll just get normal Clan Rats and save myself a tiny bit of money. Now this is where the work gets done. We're going to now go for 2 units of Plague Monks, and 2 units of Plague Monk Censer Bearers. We're then going to buy 2 units of Storm Vermin Halberd. Now, the Storm Vermin Halberd I will bring in this matchup against the Lizardmen, but say I'm playing against Skaven enemy or Dark Elf enemy, I'll switch them out and get the Storm Vermin Sword and Shield. Sometimes, not every time. Now, we've got a little bit of gold left over. This is the core build every single time. This is what I'll bring. I can choose to field maybe Death Runners to go extra wide, or if we're playing against Lizardmen, I'm going to get a load of Calamrat Spears just to shore up the outside, and why not treat ourselves to some Skaven Slaves, or we can not go for Skaven Slaves and we can just use this money to rank up our infantry. Oh, a bit too much ranking up there. So that's the build, guys, and now we're going to go into the replay. So here we are back again, this time with an online ranked battle, and we're going to just demonstrate how I implement this build. So my enemy is playing as the High Elves. He's gone with a lot of Spearmen. He has 1 unit of Dragon Princes, very, very strong cav. And backing him up, Phoenix Guard, very strong halberd unit. 1 High Elf Noble, a Princess, a Mage with the Lore of High, and a Sun Dragon. And 2 Lothern Sea Guard that are hybrid spear shield infantry. Very cool idea for a unit. Very versatile. So this build, I guess, hasn't gone with as expensive infantry. It's a little bit wider, but it's still going to get absolutely swamped and destroyed by my build, which is the case every single time. I've done it against, you know, high-tier infantry builds, all sorts of shit. Loads of monsters, and it still wins every time. So, our front line is mixed Skaven slaves and clan rats, and they're just going to soak up all the missile fire, and then they're going to fix the front line and keep it busy. Once that happens, Queek and the Plague Priest are going to also enter into melee in the centre, providing buffs in the form of stand your ground and bless with filth. And they're just going to sort of also provide a leadership bonus, keeping the clan rats and the slaves in the melee a little bit longer. And they're going to add more mass and do more damage and deal with stuff like, you know, sun dragons diving in and all sorts. Once they engage, my 2 units of storm vermin are going to go up into here and into here, just to bulk up the line and provide a little bit more longevity in the infantry fight. Once that's happened, my Plague Monks and my Plague Monk Censer Bearers are going to go around wide and come in to the sides and the back into the missile units. I've got 2 contingents either side, and they're both going to split off, and we're going to have a good time. And I've got 1 unit of clan rat spears in reserve. So they're all grouped together. Lock the group, give them an attack order so that they attack the nearest unit in front of them. It's working just as planned. We've got the archers shooting into the clan rats. Yeah, the sun dragon hits the slaves, but that's absolutely fine. We don't mind. So at this point, the Plague Monks will be ungrouped and flank around. Oh, I forgot to say I also had a unit of vanguarded Death Runners, and they're going to do the exact same job, going around, getting into the back. Queek and the Plague Priest are going to come in here, add damage. We've got the Storm Vermin coming in to fix really nicely. And soon, we're going to drop Pestilent Birth and Vermintide. And they're going to spawn units of Plague Monks and Clan Rats behind our enemy. And the way we're going to win this battle is we're going to just overwhelm with infantry. So here we go. Here's the first summon coming. And we get a unit of Plague Monks spilling out onto the field. And people might be concerned that the Skaven infantry is too squishy. Well, let me tell you. When it comes to running into archers, even the Lothern Sea Guard, they are going to mash them up. Look at that HP loss. They try and run away. They even get a buff on them, and it's just not going to help. More clan rats spawning forth here. And they're going to work to attack from behind, lower the morale, and just do a ton of damage. Meanwhile, we've got our Plague Monks and Plague Monk Censer Bearers here. The poor old Death Runners got absolutely battered by the Dragon Princes, but we're going to reinforce them in a second with these Censer Bearers, who actually do really well in this battle against them. So we've got a little bit of routing on the sides here, but it's okay. They're just Skaven slaves. We don't care. And we've got full health units of Storm Vermin here, just fixing the line and doing really well. Meanwhile, look at how quickly these Lothern Sea Guard got obliterated by the Plague Monks. It's just crazy. These clan rats are going to chase off more Lothern Sea Guard. We've got buffs going down. He brings in his Phoenix Guard here. Tries to cast Arcane Unforging. But it's soon going to be too late. So we've had a rout here, but the Plague Monks are just going to fix the line, and they're going to trade exceptionally well against the Spearmen. These Plague Monk Censer Bearers are actually going to get a good charge off into these Dragon Princes, And I have to say, I was surprised at the damage that they did in this battle. Got that Sun Dragon Breath coming in. A little bit of HP damage, nothing too dramatic. So what we've done here is we've just routed the archers. They're gone. Completely gone off the battlefield. These guys defeated by clan rats. And he hasn't even got that much left. And at this stage, we're going to do another summon here. And we're going to get some more clan rats. And they're going to just reinforce areas in the line that we need them to. Attacking these Phoenix Guard in the back. And although these Phoenix Guard are very mighty warriors, they're losing decisively. Because they have storm vermin mixed in with clan rats, fighting them from the front, and they have a fresh unit of clan rats attacking them from behind. They're going to tank their health really, really fast here. That was a miscast wind spell, something breath. The dragon princes have successfully been broken here. Well, not quite yet, but they will be in a second by the censer bearers, which are great. Censer bearers are a fantastic unit. Storm vermin holding well. Sun dragon is attacking some Skaven slaves. That's fine by me. And all of our spare units here are just going to seek to rout the archers off the field so they don't come back, or rout anyone off the field. Got our censer bearers round here, and these guys are just not going to be having a good time at all. Here comes the Sun Dragon. But I think it's going to be too little too late, if I'm honest. We've broken the Phoenix Guard in the centre. Too much rats. The swarm, the vermin tide. These guys actually broke their combatants, but they were kept busy by Skaven slaves. These are all dead Skaven slaves, and they've kept this unit of spears busy the entire battle, near enough. The Sun Dragon's taking good HP damage from the clan rat spears. More clan rats spilling forth onto the battlefield, saturating the enemy units. He's trying magic, he's trying everything he can. Queek's fighting the noble, and 1v1 Queek can defeat a noble. And let's say the noble was winning, then I can just pull Queek through these millions of rats that we have, and he'll be safe from getting effed up. Phoenix coming in. Oh, my clan rats, no. So how this tactic really, works best is to just absolutely shock and awe the infantry, wipe them off of the field, and then you can deal with the melting the Skaven slaves. You can deal with the monsters and the Lord easily enough, to be honest with you. He has 172 troops left on the battlefield. I have 1,000. I don't think I'm going to lose this battle. And now we're just going to reform. A lot of our routing units have come back. We have spare plague monks for days who are just going to chase down, whoever they want. And in fact, most of the people that I've defeated on ranked with this have actually quit when I write them a message saying this was easy, or I had 1,000 gold left, or I had 1,000 gold that I forgot to spend. And yes, that is cocky, and that does make me a douchebag, but you got to enjoy these things. So he actually routs Queek here with his Sun Dragon, but by this stage it's just like leadership is going to be strong. The Dragon Princess is shattered. The princess here is getting bashed about, getting storm vermin stabbed with the rusty spears. Classic cleanup. Queek dies. R.I.P. Queek, but he served his purpose. We've got storm vermin here just doing nothing. I think they're going to be called in. Yep. We're actually just going to go past the mage with the high law of high magic. Blessed with filth, always going off. So in this battle, with this build, every time I'm going to use both of my Vermintides and both of my Pestilent Births right behind the enemy army, just to send panic. And Plague Monks can do some real work when they're attacking from behind. Classic rat sneaky stabbing. And then the rest of the time, just spamming the Bless with Filth, giving them that crazy debuff. And there we go. I'll just speed things up here, because we're just battling. That was awesome damage from the Sun Dragon, but it's just not going to do the trick. We've got the Princess starting to rout here. The Mage is routing. And there we go. GG.